Do you feel comfortable cutting it with the drawer?
I know, but we need to come back here in about 5 years, and then we'll see a little stand of these guys here.
Get it cut with the manipulator.
Yeah.
There you go. You got something in the claw. That's good.
All right.
Yeah, what you have in the claw is perfect.
Okay.
Starboard bio. You might want to lift up.
Hang on a second. Let me just take a break.
Sure.
All right.
They may, yeah.
Do you think we can get the box out?
I'd like to lift off just to be safe.
You know, once I do that, we're just gonna blow away. So.
Yeah, I'm just worried about that. The port toe.
Well, let's.
I can try it.
Yeah, let's watch it in the Titan and see if you can open it because.
Okay, we'll see if that'll clear it. Okay, well, we'll see. If I get close, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Oh. I think I might have just hit, huh? Can you maybe just come up real slow, just half a meter or something? Could put it in auto depth and then just touch up on the elevation.
Okay, I'm in auto depth.
I got a view on you in Sirius and look okay.
Let's see if auto XY will work. Okay, got all the autos on.
Hold on 1 second. It drifted backward from the current.
Yep. Okay, so auto XY is off. I'm pushing forward. And I'm still pushing forward. And I'm still pushing forward. How close are we to the end of the dive?
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
We can just hold this sample until we get into streaming position. I don't think the autos are going to hold it. We'll just try joy locking this.
If you find a...
Alright, now let me come up a few meters.
Or if you can find a flatter place to set your toe down.
Well,
it's up to you. You can try this.
No, I'm drifting a bit too much. I'm going to come up off the seafloor a little more.
Okay.
Hold my depth. There we go.
Okay, for those of you unsure, we have about 10 minutes left of this dive. And we will have a dive planning meeting for tomorrow's dive about 15 minutes, 10 minutes after we leave the bottom, about 10 minutes after we,
Okay.
yep.
How's that?
Go ahead, Bridge.
What is the ETA?
We want to be at 50
loud.
meters at 4:30 UTC or 2:30 local.
Copy.
There you go.
Okay.
I think it's algae. I think that one that, I think, I was looking at, yeah.
Number 2 biological sample is in the starboard bio box, the inner starboard bio box. That's great. Thank you very much, pilot.
Dan, just give me a quick situational awareness on the.
Yep. I think we're...
So now,
Yeah, we're all right.
whenever you're ready,
See
we
Sir-
can start headed
CDT
up
from
toward
Sirius.
our final waypoint.
You're well off the bottom. So.
Okay, hydraulics off. Thanks. All right. Great. What do I need
All
to
right.
do,
You
Dan?
could settle starboard.
Starboard.
Come back into my view.
Got
Great.
it. Hard to starboard.
And video, if you could brighten up Sirius a bit, that'd be helpful.
Sure thing.
Could we look at that white colony that's straight down center?
Sure.
Let's we're gonna need to move Sirius closer to D2 then. In fact, you're kind of at the end of your tether, so.
Let's see if I can just come down here. Tell me, Dan. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just coming
Yeah.
down.
Okay. Well, let's
And
Am I pulling you at all? No. Okay. There's a little bit of catenary there.
yeah.
Let's move
Okay. Video. Go ahead.
like 3,
Roger.
315 or so. Nav. Just like 10 meters or so. This will probably be the last thing we look at. So.
10 meters, okay.
And
Bridge, RV nav.
Dan, if you could take
RV
camera
nav's
tilt
sure.
when appropriate.
I'd like one short move here. 10 meters, bearing 315 degrees, 0.2 knots.
Okay. Taking your camera.
So I copy 10 meters,
That's
bearing
really
315
white.
degrees, 0.2.
Good copy, Bridge.
That looks to me like possibly a dead scleractinian colony. Stony coral.
Yeah, and Scott, after we grab that demo sponge and sit down, I could see a couple of your
About 5 minutes left,
already
and
right on the
we'll,
bottom.
Back up and head up.
Understood.
Yeah, they were pretty common, or not common. I saw several of them just over a rise earlier.
All right. Coming up. And back to my right.
Yeah, and if you want to move back toward Sirius a bit.
Yep.
Coming toward you too, but take a little bit.
So the sponge fauna here is quite different than when we were saying what Patty was calling the ribbon sponges. These are more of these massive demo sponges as well. I don't see any more of the Acanthogorgia. I think we just passed over a few minutes ago.
And now, though, Scott and Asako, I just had a question. The Paragorgia, and there's one right in the upper part of the screen, they all have a very distinctive morphology. They all sort of have this barren, kind of elongate stem, and then they don't sort of flare out so much like a fan. They have a little more type of a colonial or columnar shape to them, and I don't know if you guys have seen that before or know what species that could be, but it's a bit different from the ones that we see in Hawaii.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, Chris,
go ahead.
I noted that.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was just saying I noted that before, and I'm wondering if it may be a function of where the larva has settled and the growth form is sort of, the one I was looking at before anyway, the growth form is sort of moving up the rock, and then you had that dominant stem that took off above any of the surrounding topography, so it was kind of like on a mini high. You know, in the canyons in the Atlantic, we see several examples of these really large Paragorgia, and it's very clear that from the base, the holdfast can be really wide and put out multiple stems. And so it may be, you know, this is the last surviving one, and so it looks like it has that sort of elongate shape that you're talking about. But I'm not an expert in the bubblegum corals, so I couldn't possibly tell you, you know, which of the many species of Paragorgia this may or may not be.
Well, I know that we have the option of doing an extra collection from time to time. Is this one of those times you want to do that or not? I mean, we are at the end. We have about 3 minutes left on a dive. Is this something you want to do?
I'm not advocating for a collection of this. I'm just not familiar enough with bubblegum corals to say whether it's unusual or not. In general, as I've noted to you in the event log, you know, I could say there's none of these species we could accurately identify.
Right.
If we have a collection.
Right.
Could we look at that purple clump that's over on the right-hand side?
Yeah, Pilot, can you take a look at the purple one over on the right, please?
So this was different, even though it superficially looks purple. I think
So now we
this,
just want to confirm off bottom time.
maybe not.
Yeah, we need to
Maybe
off the
this
bottom,
is
like 1
Victorgorgia.
minute, 2 minutes, so I don't think there's enough time for a collection unless we want to extend the dive for a little bit.
No, we're not
Yeah,
going
one thing I would just
Yeah,
caution
there's not time
everybody
for
is,
collection.
No,
we're
we're not
using
gonna-
So this
the
will be the last thing
name
we look at?
Victorgorgia.
No, we're not going
I
to
think this
extend the
is,
dive. We have
likely
to
be a
beat feet to
Victorgorgia,
the next dive
which is a
location.
genus in the family Anthothelidae, and they grow like this. They're very closely related to Paragorgia, so this is a good example of what I was talking about. The holdfast can spread out along the substrate and put out multiple stems. But it doesn't mean there's only one species. So there could be several species of Victorgorgia, and we're used to seeing one, and now this is a different one that has
Yeah, it's
more
time to pack
pale
up.
stem
I'll probably
and
call the bridge for the
purple
15-minute.
polyps. And, you know, I don't know one way or
Call
another. I'm
out.
just pointing out that
Let us get
when we name a
lined up
genus,
first.
Pack
there
up
might
first.
be lots
Okay.
of diversity within it.
I'm just going to make sure everything
In
is
case something
stowed.
goes wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point, Scott. And also in Hawaii, we've recorded from the submersible brambling form of what we had initially considered to be an anthothelia as well, and it hadn't been collected, so we just assumed it might be different. But perhaps it is the same thing, and like you were saying, it could be just a brambling form in a high current area, or maybe it is different.
So I need to turn port to take out my turn, and I believe you can just turn to port. Be lined up. Let's see, I'm going to secure this for now.
One thing I think is worth noting and having the listening audience learn is you said before how important it is to have the different scientists and experts on the line. But of course, ideally, we want hundreds of scientists on the line because there are so many things that one could be an expert in or not be an expert in. And so while I know lots about octocorals, I don't know everything about all the different octocorals. And surely you would probably say the same thing about the
pushed
sponges,
out west pretty
Bruce,
hard.
the fish, and so
Good.
on.
Yep.
So,
Good point. Good point. So,
Presence concept is fantastic because we get lots of different opinions, but we could always get more.
I'll wrap up. That's fine. I'll wrap up.